Sharon Gillis is booked in June, but the boys don't publicly hit custody until around August. The indictment. So what happened in between time? Because you don't need an indictment to arrest somebody. They arrested the mama without one. So when did the police believe they had probable cause on the boys? Everybody keep looking at these boys. Cool. New media is looking at Sharon Gillis. Because prosecutors say Sharon Gillis wasn't some bystander who found out about this after the fact. According to the indictment, she is charged with first-degree cruelty to children, contributing to delinquency of a minor, and furnishing alcohol to a minor. The allegations is that on March 21st, 2026, alcohol was being provided to minors in that house. And by the next day, police are at Emory Hospital dealing with an alleged sexual assault. So now I start digging. And the deeper I go, the bigger the family gets. By May 21st, Sharon and Haron Brian Gillis are divorced. Then I find the Gillis Family Management Trust. Then I find the Gillis Family Wealth Prevention Trust. Then I find contempt litigations. Then I find custody litigations. Then I find Haron Brian Gillis back in Superior Court in August asking to modify custody and parenting time and asking that Sharon be held in contempt. Now hold on, because I'm not saying a trust is criminal. I'm saying a trust tells me one specific thing. There are assets, there are structures, there are lawyers, there are resources. And that matters when we start talking about court. Because when regular people hear $75,000 bond, people with money here, we do what we need to do to put together to get him home. House arrest costs money, monitoring costs money, lawyers cost money, property costs money. A clean bond package costs money. And resources changes the way you are able to fight the case. And then here comes another question. Sharon Gillis is booked in June, but the boys don't publicly hit custody until around August. The indictment. So what happened in between time? Because you don't need an indictment to arrest somebody. They arrested the mama without one. So when did the police believe they had probable cause on the boys? When were the warrants sought? When were the warrants signed? When did the DA office get the file? And why does this thing sit from March to August before the grand jury comes down? Then we got Anita Howard presents it on August 14th. And now, we get indictments. And shortly after that, two of the boys are walked into Superior Court facing serious adult felony charges and walk right back out on $75,000 bond. Now you see why I'm not just looking at the charges. I'm not just looking at the jurisdiction. I'm looking at who these people are. Who are they connected to? What are their resources? What assets are behind them? Who represent them? Who argued for their bond? Who stood up for them? What did the judge hear? And what happened during those 5 months when the public knew almost nothing? Because this case ain't just about three teenagers. This is about adults. This is about family. This is about money. This is about access. This is about prosecution. And this is about whether justice look the same when you walk into court with a public defender and a prayer versus when you walk in with lawyers, properties, trust, and a plan. I'm not giving you the answers. I'm telling you why the questions exist. And that's exactly why new media keeps pulling the records, because sometimes the case ain't just about the indictment. Sometimes the story is in everything sitting around it. And with the Gillis family, especially Sharon Gillis, we ain't even halfway through with the file yet. This is Lamar King Sr., investigative analyst, new media, where the truth will never be silenced. Be great today. Peace.